Nous allons recevoir, mesdames et messieurs, notre deuxième invité à cette édition d'aujourd'hui. C'est un invité de marque lui aussi. Il s'agit du général retraité, le lieutenant général retraité de l'armée américaine, le général Russel Honore. Mais avant de nous rentrer dans l'interview, présentez-nous une petite biographie, mini-biographie, on nous dit, et information que nous joignons sous général. Parce que pile nous, avant émission, même avant émission, là, nous passons à fiche, là, nous, quand vous voyez un message en bas live, là, et en privé, pour demander, est-ce que général est haïtien? Qui est-ce qui général ça? Qui est-ce qui général Russel Honore? Donc, avant de nous passer avec interviewant, ensemble avec invité nous, qui est déjà en stand-by à nous, eh bien, avant de nous rentrer dans l'interviewant avec général Honore, nous allons présenter qui est-ce qui général Russel Honore. Général Russel Honore, d'après ça nous joignent, c'est un natif natal dans Lakeland. Une zone qui est Lakeland, dans Point Cook Parish, dans la ville Louisiana. Lycée 9e, dans 12 timoun qui fait dans une famille Louisiana créole qui était établie dans la même zone ça. Ils joignent nous honorer ça, puisque l'écrit avec eux accent aigu, dans mi-temps zone créole dans Louisiana, une zone qui est le Ken River. Général Honore, nous continuons pour nous chercher, nous joignons que l'IT fait étudier dans Southern University à A&M College, côté que l'il sorti avec un bachelor degree en agriculture professionnelle. Il était gradué en 1971. Sorti avec un master degree dans ressources humaines, et côté que l'il décroché dans l'université Troy, avec un DPA qui sorti dans Southern University à A&M College. Il était recevoir formation pour développement leadership dans le Centre civil international pour leadership créatif. Avant nomination, la date 15 juillet 2004, comme commandant premier de l'armée États-Unis, général Honore, était servi dans plusieurs positions dans le haut commandement dans la mer, dans le pays Corée du Sud par exemple, avec dans le pays Allemagne. Il était servi comme commandant général 2e division infanterie dans la Corée du Sud, vice-directeur pour opération J3. C'est un général qui recevait un pile de médaille. Il était poste adjoint commandant général et assistant commandant dans le centre avec l'école infanterie de l'armée États-Unis, dans Fort Benning, dans Georgia. Il était assistant commandant dans la division manœuvre et support. Première division cavalier dans Fort Wood, Texas. C'est différents postes que le passé dans l'armée américaine. Nous joignons dans la date 15 janvier 2021. Président Chambre Sénat, Nancy Pelosi, il était annoncé que c'est général Honore que lui choisi pour mener une investigation et révision sur échec sécurité après l'attaque capitolienne. Ça nous songeait, c'était sous présidence Donald Trump, nous songeons l'objet qui était passé l'année passée. Eh bien, enquête ça pour concentrer sur infrastructure sécurité, processus et procédure en différents agents de sécurité pays États-Unis avec l'ordre et contrôle. C'est général Honore qui est responsable enquête ça. Son gros enquête cap mené là et c'est lui qui a la tête enquête ça. Dernièrement, nous joignons que général Honore était visité sur internet, il était rencontré, il était fait une interview justement avec un frère dans la presse, mais c'est sur internet interview ça a été fait. Eh bien, il était visité site internet ça, il était pas ensemble avec eux, c'est Centre Haïti pour politique socio-économique. HACEP, nous avons un website là tout, si vous voulez visiter au cas où interview, c'est www.hacep.org. Côté que nous visite ça, général a démontré profondeur connaissance dans l'histoire pays d'Haïti, connexion que le gagne entre Haïtiens avec la Louisiane, les con histoire ça ou bien. Il était parlé tout sur vérité d'éradication cochon créole. Nous sommes Haïti a gagné une série de belles cochons créoles. Il a fait d'éradication cochon créole ça général Honore était parlé de phénomène ça, il expliquait qui gens qui comment et bien les États-Unis étaient arrivés faire d'éradication cochon créole. C'était vers les années 80 nous songez. Il fait qu'on est que cochon noir haïtien, cochon créole est considéré d'après lui comme une banque pour paysans haïtiens. C'est ça général là étudié, c'est ça il est arrivé déduit. Donc d'après projet que le t'a gagné pour Haïti, il t'a remis tourner avec cochon noir ça cochon créole pour pays d'Haïti. Il parlait de sommet Haïti ça qui a venu fait là dans le pays de la Louisiane. Il parlait tout de vision li et il parlait de ça t'a souhaité pour un Haïti qui gagne prospérité là-dedans, un Haïti plus prospère, un Haïti qui gagne sécurité là-dedans. Général Russel Honore ensemble avec nous allons faire une interview ensemble avec lui, c'est le deuxième invité à cette émission. Il est stand-by et nous-mêmes nous parler pour nous poser un peu de questions, c'est sûr et certain que questions ça nous souhaitons que ces mêmes questions qu'on t'a posées général là sous tes placements, sous tes devants. Nous propose et nous retourner avec deuxième invité nous qui c'est lieutenant général retraité de l'armée américaine, général Russel Honore. Restez branchés. Retired Lieutenant General Russel Honore from Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Welcome to TeleImage.
Good evening and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. A pleasure, and it is an honor to have you, General. Let's go straight to the matter here. Haiti Summit, the Haitian Summit. It's already next week coming up. General Honore, you seem to be very involved and even engaged in the initiative of the Haitian Unity Summit, scheduled to happen from January 13th to the 19th. Tell me, how involved are you in this event? And do you believe that the summit will bring solutions to the problems of Haiti? And how?
Well, absolutely. We are doing work to look at a planned Haiti for Haiti by Haitians of current governance, political, security issues, and faced with the challenges of establishing a transitional government to help the Haitian people get to a fair and free election. So this is very noble work by people in Haiti, along with friends in the United States, the Haitian diaspora, people who love Haiti, who are from Haiti, and are still culturally and relatively through relations with people in Haiti that want to provide an opportunity for a plan for Haiti done by Haitians and with the purpose of addressing the pressing needs of the country of Haiti. And it's by occasion, we're doing this over the weekend of Martin Luther King weekend, as we refer to it in America, because
Yes.
it speaks to the challenges of the democracy. We all understand that better in America since the 1/6 January event in America that we've got to protect our democracy. But we're in a position and a time and a place and a need for this plan to be done by Haitians for Haitians. And that's what this summit is about.
Very well, General. I understand that. And you're stating that it's done by Haitians for Haitians, but you would agree with me that there is a perception, I'm calling it a perception, that the US, the United States, the State Department, the Biden administration itself could be behind the scene, pulling the strings of this Unity Summit. The political parties, the civil society in Haiti, they have expressed clearly and at many times their concern about a U.S. or if you may call it the international community, the interference of the U.S. or the international community into the Haitian affairs. Could you tell us differently this time, knowing the past history of the U.S. getting involved or influencing the elections result in Haiti and supporting corrupt government in Haiti? What would you respond to that perception?
Well, everyone I've talked to from Haiti, and I think history show that that perception that people have that the U.S. and others, the other members of the tripartite, France and Canada, has more often than not gotten themselves involved inside Haitian politics. I want to believe that they had good intentions, but good intentions don't necessarily make good outcomes if their involvement was not bipartisan.
Okay.
It did not provide security. It did not provide good governance. And I think that's what people complain about, that they took shortcuts
Correct.
with the democracy of Haiti. And we know what happens if people Democracies are very hard, as we see right here in the United States right now, to maintain. But they're better than all the alternatives, as Ben Franklin said. So we will not solve, and I use that word we because I don't live in Haiti. We will not solve the problems uh, that we see on the horizon for Haiti and where we stand right now by looking in the rearview mirror. We must look to the future because we have opportunity to shape the future. It's the old saying, I come from a Creole family, and the family have many old sayings, and one of them was, son, you cannot drive the bus out of the ditch looking through the rearview mirror. You need to look forward. And we need to look forward. We know history has taught us the mistakes of the past. But we must not limit what our future will be by overindulging us on what has happened in the past. We must use history as a lesson in how not to do things. So we know how, and we've had a lot of practice between Haiti, United States, France, and Canada on how not to do it. Let's do it the right way this time. I'm aspirational. I'm an optimist. I think people can solve any challenge if they work as a team. And the challenge for the people who are coming to the summit is to create a common vision with a common purpose of securing the democracy of Haiti, making the country secure, not only in terms of food security, but physical security, where people are free to raise their families, work, and not live in fear of those who are trying to abuse themselves with power. And I think we can do this. The time is now.
Very
We have
well.
a bright future, and Haiti has a lot of natural resources, and Haiti has people who want to work. I mean, we had people from Haiti walk thousands of miles to the Texas border for a chance to go to
Indeed.
work. I mean, how many? It's aspiration. It motivated me when the opportunity came to say, would I participate? Yes, I'll participate. Anybody that will try that hard to walk that far, to sacrifice that much, is worthy of a democracy that lives up to the aspirations of the people so people can take care of their families. They can live in security and they can have enough food. And all of the kids get to learn to read and have an education so we can build economic development in Haiti. That's the aspirational words I hear people from Haiti say, and we can do this.
Okay. Agree. I will ask you indeed why and how you got involved into the summit itself. But before we do so, rightfully so, the parties and the people, the political actors, the people involved in the situation in Haiti, trying to solve or proposing a solution to the crisis. You can understand that rightfully so, they have that perception and they even have the fear that the summit will have a U.S. or international community hands behind it. Pertaining to the summit itself, how do you clarify this perception, this way of seeing things? I mean,
Well,
what can you say to help that, to clear that, the
number
air?
one, I would say this is that this is a volunteer event. I'm doing
Okay.
this as a volunteer. Southern University Law Center and the Mandela School for Public Policy, we're doing this as volunteers. I'm not running for office, never ran for office, have no aspirations to be a politician. But I have a skill set to help people get things done through organization and logistics and cutting to the matter so we can work together as a team. And the people coming to the summit, we call it a summit for unity. We will attempt in those 4 days to focus on the priorities for which they want to speak to the Haitian people who they represent. So we have gotten a commitment from the UN, U.S. representative to the UN, Ambassador Greenfield, that she would participate and provide words
Okay.
of encouragement. But we have no participation from the State Department, none. And
Very well.
that is by choice, because what the State Department told us was they did not want to meddle in the affairs at the local level as perception has they've done in the past. So there is no one here from the State Department. These are
Understand.
citizens from Haiti being hosted by citizens of Louisiana.
Very well. And of course, you as a retired general of the U.S. Army, you're doing this on your own. You're not currently working for the Pentagon. You're not assigned to this summit. We want to clarify things because I'm asking the question for the people that are watching and the people from Haiti that are still skeptical and thinking about coming or not to this summit. Now, let me ask you, General, who's going to be funding this event? Is the U.S. funding and paying for the logistic of the summit? Who's paying for it? And it's a big event. Where's the funds coming from?
We were told from the State Department they would not fund it. So we are self-funding it through GoFundMe. And we have friends from private citizens. We started a GoFundMe, and within the 24 hours, we raised over $5,000. We need somewhere in the vicinity of 250,000. We will find them. We will get the money. We have entertainers in Hollywood, some from Haiti and some are familiar with the experience. They've all promised, but we opened the fund on Christmas. So we expect a lot more activity in the coming days to raise the money we need to host the summit.
Very well. I was going to ask why GoFundMe. Are you looking for the active participation, the financing of the people of Haiti, Haitian in the diaspora, people that are watching now, a GoFundMe public that you actually created and you launched? Who is it? Who's your target audience here on this GoFundMe?
Well, people globally around the world that care about Haiti, and to Haitians themselves. There are people in Haiti. If they wanted to, they could help support this.
Very well.
There are people there that, if they wanted to, they could support this. But we are not making that a condition that it has to be paid for by Haitians. If people in Haiti want to participate, it goes through PayPal, or you can write a check to the Southern University Foundation or transfer money to the foundation if you don't want to do it through the computer. But we welcome if people in Haiti want to participate. They can do it anonymous. But primarily, it's right now, from looking at the list of people who have donated, most of them seem to be right here in the United States, and to include myself and my family.
A GoFundMe campaign. We do have the address on the lower third, and people that are watching this interview now, if you're interested, you may indeed participate and donate for this summit, the Haitian Unity Summit. What do you expect, General Russel? What do you expect to achieve? What's the goal in that summit? 4 days in Louisiana, the parties will come, the different accords hopefully will send their representative, or they'll be there themselves. What is the objective here?
The objective is to merge the accords that people have been working on in Haiti that address the immediate issues of setting up the transitional government and making a path toward election. The goal is to also address the ongoing issues with security, and to start some midterm planning in on sufficient investment to help spur the economy, as well as to make sure that we invest in agriculture and food security so Haiti can become a food secure. And we have a large agriculture department at Southern University and at Tuskegee University that are willing to help and to get global organizations to contribute more to help Haitians help themselves. Because all the makings are there, but we've got to have good governance. And that is the objective of the summit. There's some people said some parts of the Constitution need to be written, but we will do that later. We must first get the transitional government set for the end of February, then work toward the election. So we can get the executive branch, the legislative branch, the judicial branch, and the law enforcement parts of the judicial branch are back working in Haiti. So it's functional. And yes, we've got to deal with the gangs. That's a function of law enforcement, but it's also a function of governance, where the districts are doing what they can to limit the impacts of the gangs, because that is what you see on the news. And that will be addressed, but the immediate thing is to work on the transitional government.
Now, General Honore, you're very aware of the different accords that are being proposed, that are actually proposing a solution to the crisis in Haiti, and notably the Accord of Montana. You heard, and I'm sure you're aware of that accord. What is your take on that accord? Because that accord has been very active for the past 9 months. The Accord of Montana, so-called, has been talking to different part of the different actors, political actors in Haiti and outside Haiti, talking as well to the State Department. It seems to be an accord that's been proposing exactly what you are proposing here. First, what's your take of the Accord of Montana?
Well, with all fairness, because we have other bipartisan groups.
Sure, we do have others.
And it would be unfair to give an assessment of one, and I'm not prepared to do all. I will say this. Of the 3 accords I've looked at, they're very similar. That they're more alike than they are different. Because anyone who's familiar and live the pain that the people of Haiti going through, it's obvious what needs to be done. The question is, how do we do it? Because I think when we match all 5 accords together, if I may use the analogy, the top of the page will look very similar. And when we'll take those, then we'll figure out how we do it. And that's what they're attempting in 3 days. And the message that back to the people in Haiti, that their representatives, as informal as this might seem, have come to an accord that is unified, that will make sense to the people on the street in Haiti. And that we can start moving forward in a structured way to for governance, justice, and security in Haiti.
Now, the accords are proposing a solution, just like we're trying to do as well, that you guys are trying to do. You are, when I say you, I'm talking about the many different Haitian organizations based here in the United States and around the world, and yourself in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Some accords will respond to you saying that we've been doing the same exact thing, except that indeed we are not unified. So the Unity Summit is to unify those accords, to come out with one accord. Would it be right to repeat right after the Special Envoy of Haiti, Mr. Merton, saying that you guys are also looking for the accord of the accords? Is that right?
Well, I don't know if that was a joke or not, or a poetic phrase, but I know this: the people in Haiti are ready for a change because what has been going on has not worked, and it's obvious, and they deserve a change. Multiple natural disasters, and most recently, the president being assassinated, followed by another earthquake in the storms. It is time for the people of Haiti to unite, restructure their government, and move forward.
Very well. General Honore, now I'm asking you that a question that you may not have the answer right now because we're waiting for the summit to happen, but I will ask right after the summit, what's next? What happened the day after the summit? The parties come, they discuss, they go around the tables, and they come out with hopefully a proposed solution. Some will be skeptical of thinking that this, whatever comes out of this summit, will be implemented in Haiti, back in Haiti, knowing the situation of the governance in Haiti, with the Prime Minister Ariel Henry looking forward eventually to keep the power after February 7. What do you have to say about that?
Well, to borrow the words of the great Martin Luther King, I have a dream. I have a dream that someday the people of Haiti will set their own course with good governance, with security, with good education, and with food security so they can live in peace. I'm an optimist, and everyone I've talked to over the last 3 months since we've been discussing this topic want Haiti to live to its potential of a free country, a sovereign country, having dealt with all of the devastation that's happened since the great earthquake and the storms between and the current recent assassination of the president. We have to live past that, and we need to live to the future. And I think the time is now. For every challenge, there's an opportunity. And those naysayers, they can stay home. The unifiers that come to this and can leave here with one voice, we can show the world, they can show the world what happened when the Haitian people unify, and we will get past these challenges. Because on the other side of these challenges are opportunities of a beautiful place with beautiful people that need to be treated fairly on the global and international markets, and to take advantage of the work ethic of the people of Haiti. And there are many things that they can do and make a contribution not only in the Western Hemisphere, but globally. And it's time for that to happen.
I'm sure that the people that are watching as well, Haitian or non-Haitian, they do also have a dream, and Haitian themselves have a dream for their country. We're going to take a break. When we come back, General Russel Honore, I'll ask you a few questions about the insecurity in Haiti, the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, your take on all those right after the break. Again, You stay tuned, stay with us. We're talking a vrai plaisir. I was going to ask you about your French here. We'll talk about you said it yourself. I think you said that you consider yourself being a African American Creole descent. We'll talk about that, your roots, right after the break.
Merci.
La Parfumerie de Barbara, a chic little boutique located in the heart of Baldwin, Long Island, New York, where you can find the most exotic French perfumes for both men and women, and also for the little ones. Yes, boys and girls have a nice choice of perfumes at La Parfumerie de Barbara. Située au 1935 Grand Avenue à Baldwin, Long Island, la parfumerie de Barbara vous apporte la ville de Paris dans toutes ces bouteilles de parfums que vous regardez. Toutes les grandes marques, les grands noms de couturiers et designers français s'y trouvent, sans oublier les produits cosmétiques de marque française. Une variété de déodorants français antitranspirants, des crèmes pour le visage et pour le corps préparées dans des laboratoires français spécialisés. Vous trouverez aussi à la parfumerie de Barbara la fameuse poudre bourgeois pour votre visage, madame. Toutes les variétés des bien-être, le savon français Mon Savon, toute la gamme des produits Fenjal. Et pour les soins de vos cheveux, mesdames, les produits Misanti, Activilon, en pommade, huile et ampoule. Pour vous, messieurs, les déodorants et parfums de grandes marques françaises et de l'Europe, et spécialement les parfums Creed. Découvrez aussi à la parfumerie de Barbara des accessoires de beauté et des bijoux de fantaisie, des articles d'art de chez nous, des tableaux haïtiens, de bons livres d'auteurs haïtiens et une sélection de musique haïtienne en micro-sillon laser pour les beaux mélonanes. Tout ce qu'il vous faut pour offrir un cadeau de choix et de valeur. Alors, retenez l'adresse de la parfumerie de Barbara, 1935 Grande Avenue à Baldwin, Long Island. Et notez le numéro de téléphone, utilisez-le pour appeler Barbara au 516 805 2318. 516 805 2318. We ship all over the US and we take all major credit cards. La parfumerie de Barbara, un joyau de boutique qui vous apporte Paris jusqu'à Long Island. 1935 Grand Avenue in Baldwin, Long Island, phone number 516-805-2318. La parfumerie de Barbara. Team Saint-Louis a continué vendre caille dans toute state New York là. Fois ça, sold by Team Saint-Louis in Uniondale, Long Island. A beautiful Cape-style home with 4 bedrooms, 2 full baths, a swimming pool, 2 car garages. Caille ça dans Uniondale, Long Island, vend pour 525 000. Team Saint-Louis permet la famille du monde réaliser rêve. Team Saint-Louis, toujours accompagné client Lio depuis premier jour rencontré à Algade Caille. Rivé jouk sous table closing nan côté que Philippe, madame ni ak petit li, te signé papier caillou comme chez maître chez maîtresse. Après ça, c'était gros la joie, la contentement. Philippe Dumont déclaré que Barbara et ses familles tellement satisfaits de service.
Oui, cousine-moi. Cousine-moi. Mon clé là pour me balayer. Très bientôt. Barbara Saint-Louis.
Avec un pile émotion, il dit que il content pile et puis de reconnaissant à Team Saint-Louis.
Tout bagaille, 100%, 10 sur 10.
Wow.
M'bloqué, il était bloqué. C'est Claude qui bombe Barbara. Et puis, en puis famille en fait. Comme maman m'ba là, et la maman qui m'aime ici, maman m'ba là, me dit maman merci.
That's nice.
Me dit frère Jean-Claude merci. Parce que c'est eux-mêmes qui retirent mal si ça yo fait là.
Philippe Dumont, nouveau propriétaire de maison à Uniondale, Long Island, exprimé satisfaction pour Team Saint-Louis avec une belle enveloppe et puis une carte de remerciement.
Ça qui est plus important, les gens dans sous auto la travail avant faut qu'à comprendre.
Ouais.
Et pas arrêter de dire merci dans bouche. Ou gon carte de remerciement faut bailler. Travail équipe là. Ça c'est et pour son carte pour team là.
Team là.
OK.
Ça c'est une carte de remerciement. L'équipe là donne bah
Merci,
merci en pile. Merci en pile.
Team Saint-Louis au service de la communauté. Team Saint-Louis a travaillé pour faire rêve tout le monde qui voulait acheter un caille vin en réalité. Team Saint-Louis a vendu caille pour tout dans bonnes conditions. Contactez Team Saint-Louis. Barbara Saint-Louis, Real Estate Advisors, dans 516-805-2318. Valerio Saint-Louis, Real Estate Advisors, dans 516-805-5410. Team Saint-Louis.